Brandy Jenkins with the Heather Murphy Group at Keller Williams. I'm a buyer's agent on the team. Out here today, we are walking through some properties that are in the new construction phase of being built. I have clients that are doing their pre-drywall, which means prior to the drywall going on the walls, we walk through the property to make sure that we are satisfied with the foundation structures. So when you decide that you want to purchase a new construction home, there's a few ways of going about that. Some homes are in their, what we call a spec home, which is a model home for some people, a spec home. It's already been slotted by the builder to be completed by a certain date. So it's really easy to just pick up a home that's already been started if it fits the requirements you're looking for, and then you can just follow along step by step through the process. If you are wanting to build your home, if you want to come out like my clients did and pick a lot, they wanted their specific lot with a lagoon view, they wanted this specific floor plan, so we are starting from ground up for them. And so during that process, it's a little bit longer, add maybe 45 days to it. And then we just meet with the builder periodically about 4 times throughout the build process, just to make sure that everyone is on the same playing field and on the same aspect of when the home will be completed. So it takes however long it's going to take to build new construction. When you're in the phase of slab work and framing, you are at the mercy of the weather. So that can add to the process. It also depends on what you're building. If you're building 1,600 square foot versus 5,200 square foot, that's going to make a big difference in your completion. The current time frame most builders are telling the clients is about 6 to 8 months. They also don't give you a firm date, just because we are at the mercy of planning and zoning boards, permits, walkthroughs. We're also, home inspections still happen in new construction. So 6 to 9 months is kind of depending on how big the house is, where you're building it. Each municipality has a different set of rules as well. The difference between new construction in Effingham County and Chatham County is going to be the municipality. So in Chatham County, you're dealing with Chatham County. If you're in the city or the county, that also plays into permits. And in Effingham County, you're dealing with Effingham County on their permits and boards as well. So really, price is going to be your biggest difference between the two, and land availability. Chatham County, Savannah, doesn't have a ton of available land. So what is left is singular lots here and there. For the most part, Effingham County is wide open right now. There's a lot of development going on. You can get out there affordably. Adding value versus cosmetic to the home is really also dependent on the person. So for me, as a realtor for resale, adding value to your home is going to be what makes it valuable for you. But when I'm looking at it, you're not in your forever home and you need to sell it later, adding things like covered porches are going to bring you a value add when you go to resell versus a granite countertop, because a granite countertop can easily be added by the next buyer if you opted to not add that. You can do that with a screen porch, but it is a little easier to do that when you're building from ground up because it's in the structure, it's built in, it's under the warranty of the builder as well. So incentives that are popular amongst new construction builders are some sort of closing cost just built in. You don't have to negotiate it, for utilizing one of their preferred lenders. They partner with a lender that they trust, and if you get approved with that lender and you use that lender through the process, they're going to give you a portion of that toward closing cost. If you are also military or what we call hometown hero, teacher, firefighter, nursing, they normally add an additional incentive on for you as well. So it depends. Sometimes it's 1% additional in closing costs. Sometimes it's $3,000 flat fee in closing cost. Several of the builders in our market are also adding in a rate incentive. So if they have homes that are spec'd out, ready to close, they can close those at a 4.99% interest rate because those rates are purchased by the builder and ready to go. So one of the benefits of a new construction home versus a resale home, we're in Sweetwater Station here today. This subdivision started about 2007, and we're currently in 2026. So a lot of the homes at the front are resale homes. Those were built a little different. They were also built by a different builder. So the products that we were using in 2007 are not necessarily the products that we're using here in 2026. So the build is going to come from newer products, maybe more tech products are going into the houses, so you have more of them wired in with tech already in them. Some of them are wired in with termite pest control in the walls, and so it's advantageous sometimes for folks to buy new construction because it's brand new. So you don't have to question the age of the home or anything within the home. You know the roof is new, you know the HVAC is new, you you know, the plumbing is new. It's not, you know, 2007 polyurethane plumbing, which is now has a lot of issues with it. Back then we didn't know that. So it really just depends on, you know, how long you plan on being in the home and what you want to take on. So if you're, a lot of people want a non-new construction house because they like the quality built maybe that was happening in 2010, and maybe they have more brick versus vinyl. It really depends on the buyer. So one thing that is often not thought of with new construction is your taxes. So a lot of times with a resale home, we can look at the previous year's taxes and pretty much really kind of value what that property tax bill will be. We can do that with new construction, but it's not always as clear. So last year, this lot behind us was taxed on the land only. So when a home is completed on there, it's going to be taxed on the land with the home. And so when you go to close on the home, your lender is going to estimate what your taxes should be. They are typically spot on, especially if you're using a local lender. Where that is not always right is when you're not using a local lender. They may not understand that this subdivision specifically is City of Savannah, and they may be giving you taxes based on county and not city as well. So you need to really look into your taxes and insurance when you're building new construction. So this phase of construction where the walls are vertical but there's not sheetrock on them is what we call our pre-drywall phase. So when you purchase in this phase, you get the option to come in and walk through it. I always suggest to my buyers to walk through the property and take a video so they know when the drywall's up what's behind the wall. All of the kitchen is typically marked a lot of times for the buyer so they know, but this is an island. And then what I mean by that is like they will kind of have it marked here where you can see the plumbing. So you're going to have your hot and cold on the other side, which is the bathroom. It just allows you to just kind of see through the walls and grasp the layout of what your home is going to be. It also lets you make sure that everything is put together appropriately and you're not getting gypped on wood. The orange is spray foam, so a really great builder will spray foam around any orifices in the home where any pest or air, water can get through. So it's really nice to see when you go through the difference in homes in different phases, you can kind of like see the progress. So it's really interesting to just make like a digital notebook or a scrapbook of that process for you. It's also really fun for the buyers if they want to write prayers on the walls before they go up or anything of that nature. It's really, really just nice to see. So in your pre-drywall phase, or if you purchase a home in this phase where you can see behind the walls, it's also really nice because you can see there is a pipe here. This pipe, if you follow it, it comes to the outside of the house and it goes up into the attic. So without me climbing up there, I'm going to say this is attached to the HVAC unit and it's for the drain pan. So if you're hanging a picture on this wall, you don't know this is back here, and you're gonna put a nail in it, it more than likely won't come gushing water at you, so you won't know. But in 6 months time, you'll see a water ring maybe behind the picture and you're gonna be curious what that is. You penetrated a line that has water in it that's gonna just slowly drip the condensation outside of the house. Builders have what they call, normally it's called a 1-2-10. So I think of it as a 1 year bumper to bumper on the house and a 2 years on your components like your HVAC systems, your systems within the home, and then 10 years on your structure, which is going to be like if there's foundational issues in the home. And so normally within that first year, this would happen and you would catch it within the first year. They go over warranty with you. It's different builder by builder. Some of them do it really well and some of them not so well. Your agent will be able to give you their honest opinion on who does it the best. So here we are in the bathroom, the downstairs guest bath. And a lot of folks, when we do our walkthrough, they always have questions on why is there water in the tub. You want to hold the water in the tub, and it does stay this way for a month or so, and it looks really nasty, and sometimes there's bugs floating in it. Try to not let that burn into your brain. You don't want to envision your tub you're soaking in later down the road like that, but it's important that they do that to ensure that that tub can hold the water. There's no leaks, no drains, and it's not seeping out from underneath the tub. You really want to make sure that it's run that way, and you want to make sure you can see here behind it that they have the correct material behind the shower as well, because that is often skipped in some builder products. If you have questions when you're walking through a house, which you should only do with your realtor or an on-site representative, and a lot of times you are asked to wear a hard hat, always wear closed-toe shoes. your realtor or the on-site agent can walk you through the house and remind you of where everything is, because sometimes it just looks really confusing. Like if you look over here at the hot and the water where the sink goes, the hot and the cold, obviously red would be hot, this would be cold. This purple is just from the plumber. It's like I think it's like a glue that they use just to make sure there's no water leakage throughout as well. So once the wall goes up, you know that this is secured. So today we're in a model home by one of our local builders, and a lot of times folks will just be in the neighborhood and pop in and they're working with us already, which is completely fine. They normally let the on-site agent know they're working with their agent, Pretty Jenkins. They come tour the model home and she'll just give me a call when you're done. One thing, pro tip to keep in mind when you're looking at a model home is it's that builder's upgrade sale, basically. So things like the shower, this is an upgrade. This isn't a standard in every plan. So it's tiled with the bench, the nook, tiled surround with the glass door. Always double check, no matter what builder product you're in, each builder is going to be different, if what you're looking at is standard or an upgrade. So obviously they want to show you all of the beautiful things that they can do for a home for you, but this is where you need to weigh the pros and cons of an upgrade. If it's going to be beneficial and you're wrapping that in your mortgage for 30 years, if that's an issue for you, don't do it. If it's not an issue for you, do it. So it's just a thing to talk through with your realtor and your lender. A lot of times when we have done our buyer strategy meeting and we know that our buyer wants to move forward with new construction, we need to then pick a builder. And so there's several ways of doing that. I've been in the business long enough that I know all the builders here. I'm also on the home builders board. If you have an agent that is not versed with all of the builders ins and outs and has worked with them to have that experience, you can always call the home builders board of Greater Savannah as well and just ask for a recommendation with them. You have production, which we're in now, which is a lot of what is affordable, and then you have custom to semi-custom builders. And so I will guide my clients based on the area they want to be in, and then that will dwindle me into a builder pocket of how many ever I need. And then we then take it one step forward into price point. So if we're between 2 to 3 buyers, 2 to 3 builders, then what we do is we go out and we view their model home if they have one, talk to their on-site agent to see what is the standard included features, what are the promotions that they're having for my buyer at the moment, and then what is their build time. So then I can help them pick between the builders that are available that will fit what they're looking for. I'm very honest with my buyers. I've worked with almost every builder here in our area. Some are fabulous to work with, some not so much. And so when you work with your agent, you are in an agreement with your agent where they can give you their opinion. So always ask their opinion on a product, because that will help you in the long run when you have any kind of question come up and it may then defer over to the builder's warranty. So overall, I love selling homes regardless of age. I really do enjoy a new construction home just because I know the value add for my client is it's new. They're going to move in with a warranty that's going to cover most of anything that will happen for them within the first, basically 3 years. The only caveat to that is just to see what phase the builder is in, how many phases are on the horizon, and how long you plan to be in the home. So if you buy in the first phase and there's 14 phases and you only are going to be here for 2 years, we may need to look at a different avenue. But for the most part, new construction is going to give you the availability to either rent that product down the road or to be able to sell it and make money off of